Hello everybody and welcome to another live stream. You know the routine. I got to get my laptop working here so I can pull up chat, and it's always a little bit tricky. There we go. Alright, there's the chat. Now let me type a message out in here right quick and we'll get started. I hope everybody's having a good day. Let's see. Okay. Now that'll let me, I gotta do one more quick little thing. I just gotta scroll the screen down just a little bit, and that way I can tell if anybody's watching. That's good, right like that. All right. Welcome to another live stream. I forgot to plug my microphone in. I was talking to you and wasn't even recording my voice. So sorry you had to sit there in silence for a minute. But I've already got my laptop running. Got the screen open to the chat. So I did that off camera this time. I totally forgot to plug my microphone in. Wow. Okay, well, it's early in the morning where I live now. It is 8:20. So let's get in here. We're going to play Calm Lands. All mods are activated. Now, if you remember, in our last episode, our entire episode was expanding a field and getting it replanted. And we were able to get that done. And right at the end of that episode, we noticed that there was another field ready to harvest. So we can go harvest that field. I actually want to take this tractor. I'm going to need that fertilizer spreader, but before I need it, I am going to need this trailer right here. So we're going to take this down here because our harvester is down this way. So we'll grab it in a minute. We'll run this over there first. There's our harvester sitting in the trees right there. But we'll bring this over here. Just to have it ready. And then we'll just run right back up here. Now, we did look at a tractor-trailer combo that we want to get. And I need about $300,000 or more to get that. So we cannot get that just yet. I gotta make sure this is ready to harvest. Yep. And it's a soybean field. So let's get going. Let's get her done, as Larry the Cable Guy would say. course, I'm not sure when the last time was he said that. It may have been a while. Now, I do like to cut in a headland row. But oftentimes I don't manage to get all the way around it myself the first time. I will get to where I think I have a kind of a line on where I can let the helper go. The helper does fairly well with the harvester. Does not do good with the plow. Or at least with the plow that I have, and a couple of other plows. There are some plows maybe it does fairly well with. I'm going to let it run right here. As soon as I get up into the corner where this asphalt road is, I want to let it start running on its own. Sorry guys, got a yawn. I haven't been awake too long. I had to get my grandchildren up and send them to school this morning. I'm not real sure how much we'll get done today, guys. This might be a somewhat short live stream. I'm not real sure. I may actually once I get this field replanted, I'm going to put oats in this field this time. I don't need to run soybeans in it every time. We just put in a big field of soybeans. And that will be our main cash field. Soybeans is our cash crop. We do want to put some soybeans in our silo, but for the most part we'll be selling soybeans. But just because they are a crop type, I want to have some of those in our silo, which there is a little bit in there right now. I'm not sure how much, but there is some. But we will be adding more to it. Of course, our overall goal for this map is to fill our grain silo. Sorry guys, I probably need to sleep for a while longer, but I didn't get the live stream yesterday, so I wanted to make sure I got one today, and then I can do one later tonight also. After my grandchildren go to bed tonight, I'll do another one. So I have not grown any oats yet. I have already done like wheat, barley, sorghum, soybeans. I have not done any oats. And then I'm not set up to where I can do corn or sunflowers yet, but that will come soon. I want to get that tractor trailer set up first, and then we will buy the header, the corn header that works with this particular harvester. That way I don't have to buy a new harvester. And if you remember, I always like sending the helper on the long way across the field now, because it takes less turns, and the less time it can spend turning around at the end of a row, the more time it's going to spend actually harvesting. And that's what we want. We want it to have less turns, more harvesting. Now, right over here is our big field, guys. We might take a look at that. You can see on the map there how big it is in comparison, and that's, you can only see part of it there. I'm not going to pop the map up yet. We will here in a minute, though, just so you can see how big that field is. We can go ahead. That's going to turn around. Look how big this field is compared to this one. This is the one we're harvesting right now, this field. Look how big this field is in comparison to this one. Probably what, 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 times as big. Pretty big field. It's going to be interesting to see how many liters of soybeans we will get out of that field. And then of course we have our other 2 fields over there. You can just barely see our honeybee, our beehives over there. And let's see, there's another field right there behind those trees. Oh, it's ready to harvest. It is ready to harvest. All right, so we do have something else we can do. That's good. So we'll get both of these fields turned. We have chickens. We have greenhouses. We have a working farm. A money-making working farm. Although it doesn't look like we have a lot of money. But that's because I spent all the money buying land. We still have a $400,000 loan. We paid off $100,000. We did have a $500,000 loan. We paid off $100,000 of it. We've got another $400,000 to pay off, but that's no big deal. We're going to make that. We'll get that paid off rather quickly. We need to buy a few things first. But I'm not going to buy any more land until I have some equipment that I want and that we get that loan paid off. We're going to use that big soybean field to help us accomplish that. Of course, this is soybean. We have a soybean field across the way. We're going to take care of it too. So we will, now we'll sell, if we have a full trailer load of soybeans, and I'm sure we will go sell that. That'll get us about $150,000, maybe a slightly under, 140, 145, something like that. I think it was like 147. It depends on the price. And anything less than a full trailer load will go in the silo. But the trailer that we're going to get, the tractor trailer combo, the trailer will hold 250,000 liters. Because it has the option for an unreal capacity, and that's what we want. Our water tank for providing water for our greenhouses also has the unreal capacity, and that particular tank will hold 60,000 liters. So it will completely fill 3 greenhouses with 1 tanker. But I have 6 greenhouses, so we have to fill the tank up 2 times to completely fill all the way from empty to full. And it takes quite a while for that tanker to fill up, that water tank on that truck to fill up. But it can fill up while we do something else. We don't have to be in the truck for it to fill, which is awesome. In fact, right now, it's full. It's just waiting for us to need water. We don't need to worry about it yet. So this stream has started out really good. We were able to jump right in and get going. With the exception of me forgetting to plug in my microphone. It's been a good start. And I am really happy to see that other smaller field over there, and I think it is our smallest field. It was the original field we started with in the new farmer mode. But I'm glad to see that it is ready to harvest. Because I was thinking I might have to go sleep all the way until tomorrow to get another field ready to harvest. Because I think we'll want to do more than just this field. And I don't have any extras. There's no like side tasks that I need to take care of. Everything's good. We can check on the chickens and they might need some feed, but I'm sure they have enough, but we'll find out. We'll go check on that too. I like to make sure they stay full, but they can go a while. They have their own little silo for their chicken feed, and it will hold 9,000 liters. And so that will last quite some time. But I haven't checked on it. I didn't check on it last live stream. I think I did the one before that though. I think I filled it back up. We'll check the animal menu here in a minute and see what they got. Sorry guys, I was just having me a little drink of Coke Zero. Let's take a look at the map, or not the map, but let's look at animals. We have chickens, puberty. I'm not sure what's going on there with puberty. I don't know about all that. We've got all kinds of stuff. Productivity. We don't have any eggs. Okay, so we will need to throw some grain in there. We're down to 5,500 liters. So, not down to halfway yet, another 1,000 liters. But we'll take care of that. We'll get that filled up today. So that's good. What else could we look at? Greenhouses. Let's see what we have as far as greenhouses. Water, down to 15,000, so we can go through and fill up our greenhouses too. So that'll be good. We can take care of those. We'll just pop this down here. We can save the game when we're ready. So we'll finish this field right here before I start the next field. Well, that's not, I'm not sure how I'll do that, but we'll take care of the chickens and we'll take care of our greenhouses in this episode. Oh, that's our water truck and it's sitting there full waiting for us. We need this right here. We need this part right here. We'll go up here and welcome to the live stream. Harvesting some soybeans. We're just taking a look at our greenhouses and our chickens. So we got a little bit we need to get some water for the greenhouses and some chicken feed for the chickens, although neither one are going to run out today. We could actually let that go for another probably 2 or 3 live streams, but I like to kind of stay on top of it, so. We're going to get this field harvested right here, and then you can see right there in the background right there at the top of the screen, we have another field ready to harvest. It's also soybeans, but I'm going to plant this, I'm going to replant this in oats, and I probably will replant that one up there maybe in wheat. I don't need to do a lot of soybeans now because I have that top field right there, the dark green, that is soybeans. This one right here across the road from us is canola, and then over here, you can't really see it, but right at the top of the screen right there, if you saw the last live stream, we put in a gigantic field of soybeans. So now we can start doing a variety of crops. We'll just leave that sit right there. Our main goal today is to get these 2 fields replanted and growing with the new crop. And then I'm not sure what we'll do beyond that. That might be it, because I want to do another live stream tonight. But I didn't get to do one yesterday. It didn't work out, so I decided I'd get on here this morning. So I hope you're doing okay. Hope your day's starting out well or ending well, whatever the case may be. And we're just letting the helper run back and forth across this field. If you watch any of my other live streams, you know I like using helpers. I get to set that controller down, relax my hands. I can't have that thing in my hand very long before it starts hurting. And you missed the very beginning of the live stream because I did my normal routine. I started the live stream at the welcome screen where I always start at, which is the main home screen for this game. But then I always pull it up on my laptop so I can access the chat. And I totally forgot to plug in my microphone. So I'm just talking away and I'm doing my thing and getting it all going. And then I realized about a minute and a half into the live stream, I realized I hadn't even plugged in my microphone. And that's the first time I've done that as far as doing a live stream is concerned. So now I'm just going to let this thing run. These 2 fields are not all that big, not like the other one, let me tell you. Our live stream, just to finish plowing up the new field and getting it planted, took more than 4 hours. So that's going to be like, every time we do that field, it's going to be like a 4-hour job to get that field done now. That's how long it took. I was like a little bit surprised. But I did another field one time on this same map when I was playing on my PS4. And it took 6 hours. And I think it may have took 6 hours just to harvest. And that was potatoes. I'll show you where that was because We're going to do the same thing here, but not. We may not have potatoes in it. Oops, I need that like that. I planted all this area right here. I planted this entire area in potatoes. And if you've played this game and you've done potatoes, you know that that potato harvester is not very wide. It's only like 4 meters, if that much. So it took a long time. 6 hours. I think it took 6 hours. I can't remember if it was to harvest and replant or if it was simply just to harvest. But yeah, it took a long time. And you can see how big this field is up here that this was the last live stream. We got this field put in. I got a little bit close to this island right here, which made it tough because there's some rock formations and the helper cannot work by itself. So I got a little bit too close to that island right there, but that's all right. We'll make it work for us. That's pretty much up to date. I do need to put at least one shed up in the yard. Not that I use them that much. I'm real bad about not using them. Although I have to admit, when I do have them, I do actually try to figure out, okay, where I want to put things. And I try to put things back where they belong. I'm like that in real life. Every place has its own everything I own has its own space. And I pretty much keep everything put where it belongs. I don't leave things just lay around very much. But I do in this game. I leave my farming equipment all over the place. And sometimes I forget where I put some. But I don't like sheds. I take that back. I don't dislike sheds. I just don't use them that much. But I do want to put one up in the yard. And then we can always put one other places too. We can put one on any land that we own, but this map is difficult because this map is not flat. And even the areas that kind of look like they're flat, they're not really flat. Even this field right here, you may notice as this harvester is running across this field. Let's look at it and see if we notice it. I haven't paid a lot of attention to it on this particular field, but you can actually see that harvester, it kind of rocks back and forth a little bit. You can see how it's not running just smooth. It actually, there's a lot of bumps and stuff, which really affects the equipment that you can use too. But I can see that harvester tipping back and forth a little bit. And sometimes it'll be even worse. You can see it. It's not too bad on this particular field, I don't think. But there are a couple places the fields themselves look flat. But the harvester will bounce back and forth. And it makes it really hard to use a long header. You have to use the short headers on this map. I tried using a long one and it would keep skipping spots. Now, we might be able to use a long one on this particular field right here on this hillside, but like I know there were some areas right at the top of the screen over there where I had it harvested before. And even this field right beside us, like right here in this one, it's not smooth, even though it's like contoured hills and stuff, but it's bumpy also. And I was not able to use a long header. So I can't use the equipment that I most like to use. I have kind of stuck using the small stuff right here. But we are wanting to buy a tractor trailer And I looked at those in the last live stream. We might look at them before we end this one again, but I don't think I'm going to be able to buy them this time. Well, we'll just have to see. We'll see. It would be nice. I definitely want the tractor trailer before we start that big field over there. But that's going to cost quite a bit of money. We'd need probably maybe even like $500,000 to be able to buy the tractor trailer. I think with just the base price is going to be around $300,000, but we want to customize it, and that of course always costs more money. So we're looking at maybe $400,000, maybe $500,000. I'm not real sure. I can't remember, even though I've used this setup in the past. I can't remember how much it cost, and I did not go through all the customizations, especially on the tractor. It's that Snow Runner Plus, not Snow Runner. I'm sorry. Snow Runner is one of the games I'm live streaming. Also, it's called a Road Runner Plus. That was fun. Snow Runner. I believe our runs are getting shorter. Yeah, so it's not going to take us too much longer to finish off this field. It's going pretty quickly. Of course, like I said, compared to the field we just worked in, it's a rather small field. The other field that we're going to be harvesting is the smallest field that we own. It was the field we started with as a new farmer, because we just started new farmer mode. I started to play in farm manager mode. In fact, I first started in new farmer mode, and then I decided, no, I want to play in the farm manager mode because you get more money, and I was going to buy my own tractors and all that kind of stuff, because I knew that I did not want the farmhouse and the sheds that you start out with in this game. I didn't want those. I just wanted to sell them off, and then I would have them $1.5 million, because that's what you start out with in farm manager mode. In new farmer mode, you start out with $100,000. So I wanted more cash to start with, so I actually restarted the game. I did my first live stream, and I actually restarted it in the farm manager mode, and I brought everything back right to where I'd had it at the end of the first live stream. So just by looking at the live stream, you didn't really notice that it was in a different mode. It wasn't the new farmer mode anymore. It was farm manager mode. The only difference between the ending of one live stream and the beginning of the next one was the amount of cash that we had. But I could not figure out how to sell my houses, or my farmhouse and the two sheds that were up there on the starting plot. So I couldn't figure it out. It just wasn't working for me. So I had to delete that live stream and start back over in new farmer mode. And then I realized that the reason I was unable to sell my farmhouse and the two sheds is because in farm manager mode, you do not start owning property already. So I did not own the farmhouse. I did not own the shed because I didn't own the land they were sitting on. I had totally forgotten that I had to buy that parcel of land first. And it wasn't until I had restarted for the third time that I remembered, oh, I didn't buy the land. That's why I couldn't sell the house. And then I decided I'm not starting over again. So we had to start out with a smaller amount of cash than what I actually would normally want. Where are we looking? Oh, we're right here beside us. Okay, good. There's probably some street signs down here I can run over. Let me get my camera set back up here. Oh, easy, 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 easy. What's going on? Boy. I gotta learn to try to control my speed on this thing. I go too fast, I get in a hurry. I just like going fast. Now we can just leave that sit there. It won't be in the way. I don't know if we can get, I don't think we can get 2 full trailer pulls. I don't think we can do that. I think we'll get one off of this field right here. But then I don't think we'll get another one. So I think everything that comes off of the other field is going to end up going in the silo. And that's okay, because we need to fill that silo up, and we have a long way to go to be able to accomplish that. But that is the primary goal of this live stream, or not this live stream, but that's the primary goal on this map. I had thought about putting in some production lines, and I don't know if you're familiar with this game or not, but you can have production lines. So I like having the oil mill, the grain mill, and the bakery. That's the 3 main production things I like to have. I did have like textiles on the Elm Creek map, and I am going to play Elm Creek. Also, I'm going to live stream Elm Creek, but I'm not ready to start that yet. I want to get a few more things accomplished on this map before we start another map. But I do want to do Elm Creek too. I really like that map. It has all the production chains already on it. So all you have to do is go buy them. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't know that there's any real good place for me to put production lines on this map because of the terraforming. You can see, you can look right here and you can tell this is not a flat map. We got a big old hill. This is, we're actually, you can see, look at that hill. That's all uphill. So this whole map is like that until you get way down in the bottom beneath the river. On the bottom side of the map of the river, we can pop the map up there. We're just, when we get down here, this is pretty flat down here in this area. So we could put some production chains down here maybe. The problem is I am not good with the terraforming tools, the landscaping tools. I can do the paint. If I take my time, I can kind of do the paint. But as far as terraforming, I've just never been able to accomplish what I want to accomplish with that aspect of the landscaping tool. So I don't want to have to deal with any of that. So I like, I decided I'll just do Elm Creek because Elm Creek already has the production chain on the map. You just have to buy them. So that's what I'm going to do. So then I had to figure out, well, then what's going to be the main goal on this map? What are we doing this for? What's the purpose? So those silos right there, one is the silo, the other one is the extension, and between the two of them, they will hold 100 million liters of grain. So that is our goal. 100 million liters, and I can see an area where this guy missed because those signs got in the way. And I've said this a number of times now. I wish the street signs, all these road markers, were connected to traffic, because you can turn traffic on and off, and I think all these street signs should be connected to that. If you turn the traffic off, then it should disengage the traffic signs. I gotta back up and get this part right here because, well, the signs were in the way and the helper couldn't do it. So that part right there got totally missed. Now we got to get the helper line back out again. Now one thing I can see, I just ran over it. I run over these signs all the time. They're in the way. You know, I can see if you're playing with traffic, you're trying to make the game more difficult for yourself and everything. I got no problem with that either, by the way. I just don't like playing with traffic. I don't need traffic. There's not another farm out here on this map. It's like no man's land, you know. There is nobody else. There's no other farmers, nothing else going on, so you don't need traffic. So I turn the traffic off. But I turn the traffic off on Elm Creek too. I just don't like playing with the traffic. Don't need it. Doesn't serve any purpose. Other than, you know, maybe it makes the game look more realistic or whatever. But I have everything turned off anyway. You know, periodic plowing is turned off. Weeds are turned off. Seasons are turned off. Crop damage is turned off. All the stuff is turned off. Lime, I don't need lime. I don't need to do field stones. I don't need to do any of that stuff. All that stuff can be turned on if we decide we want to make it more difficult for ourselves later on. And I don't need to have the lime required in order to put lime on the field. I can leave it turned off, and if I want to put lime down just to be able to say I put some lime, then I can do that. And we may end up doing that. I will not end up doing field stones. I'm not going to do that. There's absolutely no point in doing it. It doesn't make sense to me. And in this game, if I remember correctly, you have to do field stones every time. And that's not realistic. If I plowed a field and plowed up all the rocks and I went around and I picked up all the rocks, then the next time I plow it, it's not going to have a bunch of rocks in it because I've already removed all the rocks. But in this game, every time you do it, you get field stones. So I just turned it off. I play with all that stuff turned off, crop damage, all that. I do try not to drive out into a field. The only time I really do is if my harvester happens to be running in a particular direction to where when you have to empty the tank on it, you have to drive into your crop a little bit to be able to accomplish that. I could just move the harvester. I have done that before too. I will just drive the harvester over to where the trailer is. But most of the time, I really don't do that because that way the harvester will empty itself. If you're not in the harvester and you put the pipe out, you have to get back in it for it to empty. So you can't just like be in the harvester and put the pipe out yourself manually and then go get in your trailer, your tractor, and bring the trailer over to the harvester, to the pipe, and it automatically starts emptying. You have to get back in the harvester to empty it. So I normally just use a helper to empty it, because then all I have to do, like you saw, is just pull up underneath it and it will empty on its own, because the helper is actually running the harvester and emptying it. So that's the way I like to do it. And like I say, you may be totally familiar with everything I'm talking about. You already know it because you played this game. I did have one person come in chat a few days back now. He's actually been in the chat a couple times, and he plays this game. Actually, he does live streaming also, and he actually subscribed. He became one of my subscribers, and likewise, I went over to his channel when I finished my live stream that he came in the chat on, the first one, and he told me that he had subscribed to my channel, so I went and I subscribed to his channel. I think that's fair. We support one another, because there's a lot of people on YouTube making pretty good money doing this kind of stuff. I don't anticipate being one of those people. I think it would be very difficult to become one of those people at this point in time, because they're well-established channels already with, you know, many thousands of subscribers, and I have 20 subscribers. So it's very doubtful that I, playing this game, will become one of those people who actually earn a living doing this. But I'm retired. I don't need to earn a living doing this. But I'm just saying that, you know, people who are well established in YouTube already with their monetization, if they're making good money doing this, I don't think any of them have anything to worry about somebody new coming along and having any type of effect on what they've got going on. I don't think any new YouTuber can financially have any kind of financial impact on anybody who's already established, any established channel. I just, okay, we've got this harvested already, so let's do this. Let's just go harvest this other field. Let's just go ahead and harvest it. I was going to go ahead and plant and get plant the field we just came out of. I was going to plant it, but I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do this instead. We'll just go ahead and get this get everything harvested that we need to harvest. And then we'll plant, because I got two different crops. I got to remember, I got to pay attention. One thing I'm really bad about is I forget to change my crop type when I go to plant. And I end up planting the wrong crop. Thankfully, there are times when I catch it. In fact, even in my live streams, if you've watched the other ones, you see that I have done that. And I have actually started to plant the wrong crop, but I've been able to catch it fairly quickly and make that adjustment. And get it back to the right crop. But we're doing two different crops this time. We're going to be planting two different crop types. I do not need the soybeans to go back in here. I think every fourth rotation I will put soybeans just to make us some money. I don't think I really need to buy a whole lot more equipment. I will need to buy like a potato harvester and stuff like that, and the planter for the potatoes and stuff like that, because I do want to do potatoes. I will not be doing like grapes or olives. I don't really care to do all that stuff. I was going to try some of it. I haven't even tried it, quite honestly. I haven't tried it before. But it just seems like a whole lot of work. It seems like there's a lot of steps involved, and it's very slow. But like I said, I haven't actually done it. Maybe I should, just so I can say I have done it. I have done a little bit of logging, not very much. I have the logging map on my PS5, but I've done very little on it. We may play some of that. We may live stream some of that. I'm not real sure because I'm not good at it. I don't know how to use. Oh, sorry, got a yawn. 9 o'clock in the morning. I almost got a little bit crooked right there. I'm not sure. I think I'm just going to try to do this right here. Send my helper out now. It looks like barely caught it. Okay. At least I got it going in the right direction. I'm just going to let the helper go. Now that I got a headland row all the way around it. We'll let the helper go. Let's go get our... We are almost full. Not quite full. So now, as we can see, we cannot get a full trailer off of this field. We got 81% of our trailer off of that field. But we should, we'll fill it up, and then what we have remaining, what we have remaining, we will put in the silo. I know we have a little bit in the silo already. And what I was going to say about the silos, they're my favorite silos. I just think they look really cool. But at the same time, they have such a large capacity that what I have in there already, we have 100,000 liters. We need that 100,000 liters 999 more times. It's not like, you know, I need to do that a couple more times. 999 more times. So we'll be playing on this map for a while in order to accomplish that goal. And as far as any other maps like Elm Creek, like I said, I am going to do Elm Creek, but I don't know what our goal will be. Because I probably won't use like this particular silo and stuff on that map. I'll use pretty much just the standard base game kind of stuff that's there. I'm not going to change a lot of stuff on that map as far as the farmhouse and all that stuff. I'll just keep it. I will have to figure out where to put greenhouses and stuff like that. We always want to run like beehives, greenhouses, because those are just, they make us money, and they do it in the background. The beehives, you don't have to do anything for beehives. Once you set it up, it's good to go. Just put it next to a field, and it's going to make you money in the background. Not a lot of money, but it's making you money in the background. So really, by the end of our first episode of the live streaming, we had a working farm. We had 3 fields, and we had honeybees. And that's all we really needed, to have a working, profit-making farm. It wouldn't make a lot of profit, but it would still make profit. So we did have a profitable working farm by the end of our first episode. But it wasn't until like the end of the second episode where, you know, it's like you could really just breathe easy, because you know, okay, now things are starting to move along. But now here we are, episode 10, and we've got things moving along really good. Actually, we just got to where we're really going to start turning big profits. Once we can harvest our new field, the big field, then everything's going to be set up really the way we want it. And then from then on, it's just adding more fields, adding more money. Although I will say that for the most part, we're not going to be making super big profits. We are going to make profits, because our big soybean field will make us profits. And like I was saying, like on every 4th rotation, I want to plant soybeans. So we're constantly going to be planting soybeans in all these other fields too, just to make more money. Now, of course, we could always throw down the government subsidy sign. And I did that. I actually did that on Elm Creek the first time I played on Elm Creek. I put down a government subsidy. And for me personally, it was just too much money, because I ended up having hundreds of millions of dollars, and I just didn't have anything to do with it. There was so much money, there was no point in farming. I didn't need to get out of bed and go farm. I had so much money rolling in. So I stopped using the government subsidy. Now, I am using subsidy. There's 2 different subsidies. There is a government subsidy, which is a white sign. It just says government subsidy. And that was the first one they came out with. But then they came out with the local municipality. It's a green sign. It says subsidized by a local municipality. And I use that one. It's a very small, and I'll show you. We can go look at that. Where am I at? Let's see. I'm kind of turned around a little bit. Okay, that's my chicken coop over here. You can see I put a white fence around it just so I always run it. There's an invisible fence, not invisible, but you can see it has its own wire fencing right there. I always hit that with my tractor because I can't see it. So I always end up hitting that. But let's run up here right quick. I run all over the place. I need to be going this way. We'll run through our field. I need to go up to the beehives. I always refer to it as the honeybees. They're actually beehives. but for some reason, calling it the honeybees has got stuck in my head. And I always put a white fence around my beehives too, because otherwise I can't see where things are. This is a setup. I use this setup on all my maps, although I did not have beehives on my the last time I played Elm Creek. But I wanted to show you here. I do this right here. I use this right here, subsidized by local municipalities. So it is a small government subsidy, but it works real well when you do something like this. You put your beehives in, and you can kind of, as far as role playing goes, I don't do a lot of role playing in these games. That's not my thing. But I do like to role play that, you know, like maybe 4-H or FHA, Future Homeowners of America, or something like that, or like leasing this little bit of ground right here so they can put some beehives out. So that is about the extent of the role play I actually do in this farming simulator game, is the beehives. I like to use that local municipality subsidy because it justifies having. Sorry, I got a cough. I got a little something like a tickle in my throat. Now, I'm not sure what caused that. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that. Like I say, because I don't have you in chat, so I don't get any feedback. But you may be very well familiar with all this stuff that I mentioned. I just mentioned it to this. Well, I don't know if you're familiar with it or not. So in the event that you are not, or somebody might watch the live stream once it's posted as a video, and they may not be familiar with it. So I've shared all this stuff probably a couple times already in different episodes, but I still like to do that just in case somebody doesn't know. I watched a lot of these videos, or a lot of videos on this particular game before I ever started playing this game. I don't watch a lot of them now. I do watch some occasionally. But like I said, I had another live streamer come in here in my chat. And like I said, he subscribed to my channel, and when I got through with my live stream, I went over to his channel and subscribed to him too, just to, you know, return that support, because I appreciated the fact that he subscribed. So I went and did the same thing for him, and he's got quite a few subscribers. He's got well more than 100. So hats off to him. He's, you know, got a good start going on there too. And his farm is huge compared to what I have going on. I had never heard of the map he's playing on, but anyway. I have watched a little bit of his stuff, but as far as the original people I used to watch and everything, I haven't watched any of them in quite a while because I'm playing the game now. So I don't spend a lot of time watching, because then I don't want to play, because I feel like I've already spent, you know, X amount of time with this game today. I don't really want to play. So I don't really watch. it won't take us a whole lot longer. It looks like we'll fill the tank up on here. We don't have a lot of room in our trailer to offload, but we will be able to we'll sell one trailer load, and then we'll have some soybeans to put in our silo, which is good because every time I put soybeans, like in this particular field, for example, if I plant soybeans here, then I'm not planting wheat or anything that I can actually put in the silo. And our objective, our goal, is to fill the silo. So that's why I want to be careful. I can't just run soybeans all the time to make money, because our main objective is not the money. We need money so we can get some other equipment. So we'll use soybeans as we need to make money, but we don't want to keep doing soybeans because we want other crops. Now our chickens, we can feed chickens wheat, barley, and sorghum, and we will have all those fields going all at the same time once we have enough fields. One of my goals that I want to get to, and that's important, I think, on any map. It doesn't matter what map you're playing. You want to get to where you have enough different fields that you can harvest something every in-game day. Now I'm playing on 1 day months, so every in-game day represents 1 month. So I need a crop to harvest every month. And that can take a while. If you only have one field, when you plant it, like when you start this one, you start with this field right here. Well, you get it planted, well, then, you know, however long it takes for soybeans to be ready to harvest, and I'm not sure what that number is. Why is that not emptying? Oh, we're full already. Hey, that emptied. That filled up pretty quickly. Okay, well, that can just sit there. Helper can just sit there. I thought this trailer was at 81% full. Now, I did not realize it was at 100% full, or I would have already went and dumped it or sold it. We're going to go over here. We put in this dirt road right here. This is our road. We put this in here just so we can hop over this hill instead of having to follow all the way around. I think on the way back we'll bring, look at that, 4 miles an hour pulling this load up this hill. And that kind of shows you how steep of a hill we're climbing and farming. And our sell point's right over here. We'll take the asphalt road back around when we come back, and you'll see why I put in this little dirt road. Now here's one thing I noticed though. You see how that grass is right there? My landscaping tool, the paint tool, would not let me come all the way out to the edge of the road. So that was kind of unfortunate. It looks a little weird. I cannot do anything about it. It won't let me. So it is what it is. Now we're going to go right in here. We're going to go up here. And we should get close to 150,000. I think the last time it was 147 maybe. 147,000, which is nice. We're going to have some money, but we're not going to have enough. We're not going to have enough to buy our tractor trailer, because the trailer itself was $81,000. and that was with no customization. Yeah, 147. Okay. So we are going to have to get some more soybeans done, but we have that in our big field. So once we can harvest that big field, we'll be good to go. We can buy our tractor trailer and maybe even our header and our planter for corn and sunflowers. We're going to take this road around. I don't really have to. I'm just going to. I haven't done that. I did the very first time I played on this map on my PS4, and realized very quickly I wanted to put in a road, my own dirt road that went from my farm up to here, and that's what I did. It's not all that, you know, it's not real far out of the way. It's just around the curve. Oh, slow down, slow down, slow down. Holy cow. It gets really hard when you're in the trees. You can't see where you're going, because then you get all off-road and everything. But, so as you can see, it's not a big drive from one place to another as far as just being able to go sell stuff is concerned, but I don't really need to go there. Now we'll go empty this thing. And then we'll put the remainder of all this in our silo. We have some soybeans in the silo already. We will, you know, periodically we may sell some of that. We may not. I'm not sure. If we need money to be able to buy stuff. Once I have like 250,000 liters of soybeans in the silo, then we will always have that to where if I need to buy something, I can go bring that big trailer, fill it up, and actually take it and get some good money. But we won't be doing that for a while, because that's all going to come off of just the leftovers from what we're doing right now, getting these fields. Oops, I went one too far. When we plant soybeans in these other fields, doing our rotation, and I don't know how to term that. I mean, every fourth time is what I want to do. Every fourth time I want to plant soybeans. And I may forget to do that. It doesn't matter. We just, you know, periodically we want to do soybeans. We want extra cash. I pretty much have all the equipment I need, other than a tractor trailer for the big field and a new header for this harvester. We do need a header for corn and sunflowers. And they will go, we're going to do corn and sunflowers in the upper field up there. You can't hardly see it. Right at the very top of the screen, that dark green, the darkest green right there. That's going to be, we're going to rotate between corn and sunflowers. Eventually we'll have enough fields to where we'll have more than one sunflower and one corn field. But that will be our first sunflower / cornfield, and we'll just alternate. This is canola. This field right across there, that's canola, and it will be canola. I will always plant canola in that field, except for, like I said, every fourth rotation, I will put soybeans in that field. And I had soybeans in it last time, so that's the first of the canola. But that's not going to be real strict. It's not like I'm going to get out pen and paper and like keep track of how many times I've done canola. You know, every now and then I'm going to throw canola in it. I'm going to try to do it on every like fourth rotation. I hope it works. It kind of works out that way every fourth time if I can keep track of it in my head. But it's not that big a deal. It's not going to matter. Just every once in a while we're going to do extra soybeans. So it looks like we'll be able to finish this field in this one tank. Yeah, I already have. So that's going to be nice. We might actually have enough in our in the silo to go sell another trailer load. I'm not sure how much is in the silo right now. Actually, we can find out. We can look right here. Soybeans. Yeah, we have 21,000 liters in there. So as you can see, we have soybeans, we have sorghum, canola, we have barley, and wheat. And like I said, I have not done any oats yet, so we're going to put oats in our other field. The other field up there that we just harvested, we're going to do oats, and I'm going to do wheat in this one. Because I started out with barley. The farm came with this field right here, and it had barley in it, and it was ready to harvest. So we did barley, and I did sorghum. I did one rotation of sorghum on this field, and I've done a couple of rotations of where's this guy going? Because he should be done. I'm not sure. He's just going to turn around and say he's done. Because he actually is done. I'm not sure what he's doing. He's just going to pull up here, and then he's going to say, okay, I'm done. Yeah. Where are you going? Where's this guy going? See what I mean about helpers? Why would that helper even do that? It doesn't make sense. It should know where the edge of the field is. You're driving off into the trees. Oh my goodness. So that did not make any sense to me. But that's the way it is. You really have to watch the helpers. Helpers were better, in my opinion. The helpers were better in FS19 than they are in FS22. And not everybody may agree with that. I don't know. I mean, I guess it just depends on, you know, your personal experience that you have. But I have so many things like what you just saw right there. The helper is done, and instead of stopping, it just takes off across the, you know, heads out into the trees. And they mess up fields. They do all kinds of stuff. So we're going to go put this over here because I don't think I have. Let's try something. I wonder if there's enough in there to fill this thing. Probably not. Actually, it did. It did. So let's look. What do I have left now? Okay, I still got 11,000 liters. That's fine. Let's go sell another trailer full. Even though we're supposed to be filling, I want to go sell this. Another trailer full. I know I need $81,000 for the trailer that I want. I actually need more than that because I'm going to customize it just a little bit. So it's going to take more, probably $100,000. And then I'm not sure how much the tractor itself is going to be, but it's going to be, I'm not going to have enough money to get both right now. Although I could borrow another $100,000. I don't really need to do that yet, because I've got this other field at the top up there. The field, that very dark green at the very top up there, that's soybeans too, and it's going to be ready to harvest before this field down here on the bottom of your screen is. So I don't want to take out the loan. I'm trying to get the loan paid off. So we don't have to worry about that no more. So this should get us $147,000. But I don't think that's going to be enough to get us both the almost overshot it. I don't think that's going to be enough to get us the tractor trailer that we want. I just don't remember how much the tractor was, but I think it's going to cost around $300,000, $400,000. So we're not going to have enough to get both. We will after I harvest that next field, we will have enough. And then we're going to be like in really good shape. See, 147,000. Slightly, a few dollars less than what was on the last one, but that's okay. So now, I got to tell you, I'm actually anxious to be able to harvest that other field of soybeans. Because I want to get that tractor trailer. Like I said, it's not crucial. I don't have to have it before we do this field right here. This is a big field. I don't know how many liters of soybeans it's going to yield. It will not yield as, let's look at this. Like I said, I don't know if you're familiar with this game or not, but it's showing 100% fertilized. Now that is surprising. I was not expecting that because, this part of the field is. Let's run out here for a minute. Let's go this way. I think we're going to find a place down here that is not 100% fertilized. Because where are we at? Yeah, we got to go all the way up here. I do a lot of running around. I want to go out to where the island is. Because this is the first time working this part of the field. You see how that fertilization dropped down? 73% out here, 88. Because when you do grass, when you create a new field and you plow up the grass, you do get some fertilization from that, but it's not a 50% fertilization. You have to give 2 rounds of fertilizer to your fields. So here we see 86%. That's because, after I plowed up the field, we had 30%, 35%. That's about average, is around 35%. So we're not going to get 100% yield on, you can see our yield bonus. Well, let's go back over here for a minute. Because that, especially on a big field, see our yield bonus is down to 88%, 87%. So we're losing crop on the first time. And it's always going to be that way. We won't maximize our yield until the next time. And I'm not rolling it. I'm not rolling it because of field stones. So that plays into it too. It's always a little bit less, like 95%. We don't get over that. And even if we did, sorry guys, I had to sneeze. Even if we did field stones, if we rolled it, it would still only be like at 97%. We need to lime it. And I don't want to do all that. So I'm going to bring the trailer up here because the next place I'm going to need it is over here, is up this way. So I'm just going to put this back up in the yard for now. And then I'm going to grab my fertilizer spreader. Let's see. We get free fuel right here. I don't know if you've seen any of my live streams before. I'll go ahead and refuel. It's free. I might as well go ahead and just repair this also. I wish I could just drive up to it and repair it, but I actually have to get out to do that. So we'll repair this, and we will, that's pretty much repaired, but we'll repair it anyway since we're standing here, and that's all done. We try to keep things repaired. I used to be really bad about not repairing things. And man, you go look at the, you can look in right here, and I don't know if it tells you about, well, it talks about the money and stuff, but I thought there's someplace I think you could look at. It might not have been on that screen. I'm just going to drop that trailer right there. That's fine. We're going to grab this fertilizer spreader and try not to run full speed. Okay, we're going to have to fill it up though. We do need to fill it. Now we get fertilizer free. We get seed for free. This fill station right here is free. It's not free. It provides you with free things. You have to buy it, but you get free fertilizer, lime, seeds, that kind of stuff. You can get that for free, but make sure you look. When you come through here, I'll show you where it's at. Oops. I played this game for a while, then I didn't play it for a long time. So under construction, containers, buildings, go down to containers, and then you see these black ones right here? Old fieldwork fill station. Old free fieldwork fill station. So you have to look for the one that says free, because the other two are they're just like it, but they don't give you the stuff for free. This one will give you the stuff for free. So look for it. Use that one. It gives it to you for free. Even my fuel tank right there is free. I get free fuel from that particular fuel tank. So I always use the stuff that's going to give me free things. I don't see any reason not to. If they're going to let me have it for free, I'm going to take it for free. And I'm going to be very happy about it. Now, I always like to do this rotation right here, guys. I like to run my fertilizer spreader right after I harvest, because my seeder, I always want to call it a planter. It's actually called a seeder because it's seeding arable crops. The planter is for, like corn, sunflowers, the stuff that has to be like bulbous type things. I missed a little bit right there. I want to go ahead and get that. Not that that itself would hurt us very much to miss out on that little bit of growth right there, but you have to do, in between fertilizing, you have to do another stage on the field. So I like to fertilize. Now I'll go back and catch this lower part, and then I'll catch that last little bit on the way back out. I do waste a lot of fertilizer doing it like this, because like as you can see, I've already fertilized over the field, but here I am fertilizing, spreading a lot of fertilizer in areas that's already been fertilized. But because I get it for free, see, I was going too fast, and you whip around really quick. And then I'll just catch this on the way out. And now we'll go catch our other field. We'll go ahead and fertilize it with the fertilizer spreader, because we're not going to use this for the second round of fertilizer. We're going to do that with the seeder after we plow. As we're planting seed, we're also going to be putting down fertilizer. So I just do it like this. This is the way I do it. I didn't used to do it the way I do it now. I actually used to run this fertilizer spreader twice, because you can actually, you can cover the field a lot faster with the fertilizer doing it this way. But then I decided, since I have to run a helper, or even if I'm doing it myself, I plant the seed, I have to cover the entire field anyway. So I can actually fertilize and seed at the same time. So I might as well do it that way. So I kind of changed my strategy a little bit after playing this for a while. And you do have to have the right seeder and stuff. Of course, you have to have one that will do both seed and fertilizer, which I do have that. Whoops, I missed a little spot. That little spot isn't going to hurt to miss that one little bit right there. As far as the fertilizer goes, I just like getting all of it. I don't like leaving those spots. And, not being too concerned about wasting fertilizer, because I get it for free. That might not be the best of attitudes, but that's just kind of how it is. It doesn't bother me to waste it, because I get it for free. If I didn't get it for free, then that would be a different story, because I didn't always get it for free. I'm not sure that when I first started playing this game, or in FS19, that particular fill station that I use now was available. I don't know that it was available as a mod. I think it originally started as a mod, and then it became base game, because I think that Giants, I guess Giants is the developers. I think that there are some mods that maybe they actually end up purchasing from the modder. I'm not sure how all that works, but there are some things that I actually thought at one point were mods that have become base game. So I think maybe Giants will purchase the mod from the modder. And there are mods from FS19 that, at least at this point in time, have not been carried over into FS22. They're not automatic. The modder has to, do whatever they have to do to their code to adapt it to the new game, and even probably some things about the new console, as far as maybe from the PS4 to the PS5 might require some kind of different coding. I'm not sure how that works. I don't really know how to do coding as far as for this type of stuff is the JavaScript and stuff like that, doing objects and stuff. I know how to do like a HTML coding, but I'm not real familiar with JavaScript or C++ and those types of things. I'm not even sure that's even the language that is used these days. I know back when I was learning a little bit about computer programming and stuff like that, that it was, I started programming using QBasic. And you still had to assign line numbers. And boy, wasn't that fun. I had a friend who was doing computer programming, and he was programming it in binary, ones and zeros. So he was using the true machine language, because even today it's still binary ones and zeros, but we don't have to do the ones and zeros. Like when you're programming, we can use numbers and the characters and special characters and stuff like that. But those all represent ones and zeros. So in the machine language, it's still ones and zeros. We just don't have to put those ones and zeros ourselves. But my friend who was programming, this was in the early 90s, and he was programming a drawing program, which was really cool. He had some really cool features in it. But yeah, it was all ones and zeros. It was like incredible. It was amazing to watch that he understood that binary language well enough to be able to program what he was programming. I was not at that level. I was at the next advancement, which was QBasic. You still had to assign, I think it was QBasic. There may have been something intermediate, but I was programming in QBasic and he was programming in with binary numbers. So I will probably plow this field myself. Normally I can handle having the controller in my hands long enough to be able to do this field by myself and not use the helper. Sometimes I use the helper, but I do like doing some of the work myself, but for the most part, if I can use the helper, I will. Actually, I'm going to go ahead. Well, because with the helper requires so much help, especially on fields that are like this one, where they don't have square edges or flat edges, square corners and stuff. They're not square and rectangular shaped fields. All these odd shaped fields, they require so much help, especially with this plow. And there are a couple of other plows that I have used. They're bigger, they're longer, but their basic design is the same. There's just that flat bar. They all need help. They do not even if the edge of the field is square, it will leave a plow width undone, and you have to come back and do it. So I'm hoping there are some of these things that get fixed by the next release of the game, which from what I understand is going to be 2025. I actually was hoping it would be 2024 because they used to release this game every 2 years, and then all of a sudden it took 3 years. I think that was due to COVID. It took them a third year, and then for whatever reason now they're sticking with the third year, unless they're just wanting to get it back to odd numbers. Because it was like, I don't remember when this game first came out. 2007 maybe? May have been the first one, I don't know. It might have been 2005, I can't remember. I didn't play it back in those days, but I've heard some of the other gamers who do play this game, other YouTubers have videos of this game. I've heard them talk about like the 2007 version. So they've been playing 2007, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, and then we had to skip to 22. So it could just be that Giants is wanting to get back onto the odd number and just have 22 be the oddball. So they're making us wait a third year. But that's okay. There's enough to do on this. There's enough maps. See, modders make maps for this thing. So there are so many different maps that you can play on. You could play this game. You could play FS22, this release. You could play it for decades and not run out of things to do. Now, I think that once the new release comes out, modders kind of quit making mods and maps for the older releases, and they start working on the new stuff. So, sorry I had to yawn, guys. 10 o'clock in the morning. I didn't sleep real good last night because I kind of had to keep an ear out for my grandchildren. I was babysitting last night, and I got them up and got them on a school bus this morning and off to school. So I didn't get a lot of sleep. I don't sleep good when I have that responsibility. So I am sleepy. And I'm not used to live streaming this early. But like I said, I have some other things I have to do later on. And I want to live stream again tonight. So I thought I would do a live stream. We'll get in, you know, a little bit. I'm not sure how much, hour and a half, couple hours maybe. All right, come on, let's get turned around. We're going really slow. We can get some of this done though. We can do some stuff. And once I get this other field, we get both these fields planted. If I feel like it, we might come sleep through another day just to see what's going on. Maybe we can do a third field. We'll see. We'll see how things feel, how I feel. Now we'll go ahead and we'll plow this field. Now this field I'll use a helper for most of it. I'll run a headland row. And then I will, I'll probably turn the helper loose. Let the helper work on it. and I can put the controller down because that's what I like to do. And we'll just ride along with the helper. Now, there are situations, wow, 2 miles an hour, come on. Whoa, I might need my red tractor. I might actually be using the red tractor. It's a little bit more powerful, I think. I haven't looked at those kind of stats to see, but maybe I should. But this is uphill too. But maybe I should be using the red one. I was going to say something else, but I kind of got sidetracked there because that thing slowed down so much. I was like, what? I like working this direction across the field because we're able to move much quicker. But yeah, we'll get these 2 fields finished, and then we may go for a 3rd field. We'll sleep through a day. It depends on what time it is. Like I said, I have things I have to do. And the reason I'm doing live streams, guys, as opposed to just making videos, I know I've talked about this in a couple of the other live streams as well, is the fact that PlayStation, your record time, they'll let you record videos, but you're limited to 59 minutes, 59 seconds. So if I was just making a regular video, I would not be able to do 2 fields. I wouldn't be able to complete these 2 fields in one video because I've already been live streaming for 56 minutes. So I would be at the end of a video already, and we're not done. I could do 1 field at a time, 1 field. Each video would be 1 field. And I didn't like that. That's not enough time. I want to be able to accomplish more than that. And once a live stream is posted on YouTube, it's really just a video. But thankfully, I wanted to do live stream ever since I first started doing a few videos. I did do some videos. I put them on a gaming channel. I didn't put them on this channel. I had them on a different channel. Kind of an experiment, you know. And I kind of got the hang of how to do videos, and I got comfortable with them. I couldn't really edit videos, though. But I wanted to do live stream, because that way if people come in chat, I can actually talk to them. And that's the cool thing about it, because once I get going with the helper, I can put the controller down. I can just keep an eye on the helper, and I can actually chat with people that are in chat. Of course, you have to have people in chat to be able to chat with them, but I have had a couple of different people come in chat, and like I said, one of them subscribed. One of them came in and they just wanted to do like a multiplayer. They wanted me to open up a room and invite them to come join, and we could farm together, and that's not what I'm doing. I'm not doing multiplayer. That doesn't mean that at some point in time I might do a multiplayer. I've got to get more into it. I don't even know how to do that, actually, which is what I told that person, that I didn't even know how to do it, and I don't. You know, he said go make a room and invite me to join and we can play together. Well, you know, like I say, maybe at some point in time that might be something I want to do, but that's not the goal of this particular map. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not doing multiplayer. And you have to be careful when you do multiplayer, especially with people that you don't even know, because they can mess your farm up. And there are trolls who will come mess your farm up on purpose. Because while you're off doing something, like I could be in this field right here, I could be plowing this field, and here's the problem. I could be plowing this field, and somebody else could be right over there where I can't see what's going on because I'm doing this. They're over there plowing up my crop. And trolls will do that. I learned that by watching other videos, other YouTubers who are making videos. They caution about that, about, you know, doing multiplayer with people you don't know. Because they can if they want to, you know, and we all know the internet is full of trolls who do stuff like that. They just want to cause trouble. So pretty much if I ever do multiplayer, it will be multiplayer with people that I am familiar with and that I can communicate with, and right now that's nobody. Unless they pop into chat, I might talk to them once or twice. But, you know, it would have to be somebody that I knew that would be agreeable to a certain objective. What are we going to do? Why are we doing it? And stuff like that. There are some multiplayer, some people that, other YouTubers that play this game that I do know have done multiplayer. And it can be pretty cool if you have the right people helping you. And you kind of have to have a plan, though. You need a plan. What is each person supposed to be doing? Why are they doing what they're doing? You know, what is the goal? Now, so far here, guys, you can see that I have not hired a helper yet to run this plow. I should do that because my hands are getting sore already. Just from a little bit of work, and that's the way it is. That's what happens. I can barely hold the controller for a couple of minutes. I can't do any fighting games. I do have, like, I have Bloodborne, but I can't play it. I just can't do the fights. The fighting parts of it, it makes my hands hurt so much. But because I have to help the helper out so much with the plow, I'm going to try to get through this if I can. Maybe when I get over here, I'll be able to turn it loose. For one thing, those signs right there, they get in the way. So I might be able to figure out what pathway I can send the helper on right here, but I think it would have to be way, actually what I need to do here, I see what I need to do. I need to go up to the top. We'll just go up to the top if this thing can get to moving again. We'll go up to the top up here. 3 miles an hour up the hill. Oh, come on. Yeah, I'm definitely going to put a helper in it when I get up to the top and send it back down. Because I have a couple of headland rows in, it won't hit no signs down there. The signs won't be in the way. So then I'll turn it around and send it back down. And then I'll just have to help it because it's not going to work on its own properly because of the angles. So now we'll send it back down, and it'll be a short run to come down because you can see You can see the angles that it's going to work at, the working angles for the helper. Regardless of, now I'll send the helper. There we go. Now we can send him down. And I'll probably have to help it on the start to make sure it doesn't skip any. It might go all the way down to the bottom and start. It should. No, it's not going to. But it should. It should recognize that. So what I do, I wait for it to start dropping, and now I can back up, because this thing should have drove all the way down to the end down here. We're just going to come back here because I let the game itself get itself turned around and lined out so we can follow. We can just back straight up, and we're going to be on the line. It should have brought itself all the way down to this point and then decided to start plowing. So that's what I say, that the helpers just are not that good. At least with this particular plow, they're not. Because it should have just drove all the way down to that far end of the field, turned around, and restarted. It seems to have trouble recognizing the difference in textures, and that should not be that way. It should identify the textures and know what it needs to do once everything is outlined for it. But it doesn't. Now, maybe with a different type of plow it might, I don't know. I haven't experimented with the different types of plows. I like using this type because it's easier for me to back up with a towel that's attached directly. Sorry, had to yawn again. Wow. Like I said, I did not get much sleep last night. And I'm kind of used to sleeping during, oh, now see. Fire the helper. Fire that helper, come back. See, it should not be missing stuff like that. It should not do what it does, but it does. So we just have to stay with it and help it. Now, if this helper would plow this field without making mistakes, without messing up, skipping stuff that I had to come back and fix, I could actually go get the seeder and get the seeder started in the other field. But I have to help the helper so much that it just got to a point to where I might as well just stay with the helper and just follow along. So everything I do now is all just real time, and I just ride along. Eventually I'll have people in chat, or hopefully I'll have people in chat that I can talk to while the helper is doing this. It'll help pass the time. In the meantime, I will talk to those who may be watching but not in chat, and those who view it as a video after it's posted. And sometimes I run out of things to say because I'm not real sure what to talk about, because there's only so much you can say about plowing a field. Hey, something's really weird. Something is really weird. This thing still says I've been streaming for 56 minutes. That is not accurate. It said 56 minutes before, and it still says 56 minutes. Why is that? Wow. Now I don't know how long I've been streaming, because I don't know what time I started streaming. It was 8 something, now it's 10 something. I think it was 8 something. See, so that 56 minutes when I looked earlier may have been wrong. Wow. Okay. That just caught me totally off guard. I was not expecting to see that. I have no idea how long this stream is at this point. Okay. Fire another helper. That is really weird. I hope it's still streaming. Well, it is. I can see it on my laptop that it's still streaming. But I don't know why it stopped. The counter stopped. Wow. Wow. That's all I can say, guys. Wow. It stopped. Stuck at 56 minutes. So maybe by the time I finish these 2 fields, that'll be a pretty decent live stream. A couple hours. I just have no clue at this point, because I didn't look to see what time it was I actually started. But we'll worry about that. We'll think about that. We won't not worry about it. I'm not going to worry about it, but oh, again, fire the helper. It just makes no sense to me why this helper is just, they're all just doing things wrong. But see, with the timer being off on the live stream, with it being stuck at 56 minutes, now it makes me wonder if there's actually somebody watching the live stream or not. It says there's 2 people watching. One of those is me, because I'm watching on my laptop. Oh no, it did it again. Just constantly, I have to. This is why I cannot go do another project and let the helper go, because the helper just keeps messing up. So yeah, I the more I do this, I catch things that don't always work. They're not really reliable and trustworthy. And that's just like the timer, the YouTube timer that is really timing the live stream. It's just not accurate. But I will say this is the first time that I've noticed it not to be accurate. Now it tells me it's done. See, this guy, these helpers are horrible. In my opinion, they're horrible. They can't do the simplest task. I see a spot up there at missed too. And I thought I got that on the last pass. So fire the helper. Go catch this part. Then come back. And the rest of this, I'm just going to do it myself. Because it's only a couple of passes. So I'll finish it off myself, and then we'll get the planter, or the seeder. It's called a seeder. I always call it a planter because that's what I'm doing. I'm planting. I'm actually sowing seed, but in my mind, that translates to planting. Okay. Got it done. So we're going to go drop off this plow, and I'm going to go ahead and reattach to my fertilizer spreader. Actually, I don't need to attach to the fertilizer spreader. I need to attach to the wagon, because the wagon is the next thing I'm going to use with this tractor. I need to buy another tractor. I like having a tractor that's dedicated to the fertilizer spreader. I like doing that. Now we'll go over here and get this one. Now I want to do what am I going to plant? What am I going to plant? I'm going to put wheat. I'm going to put wheat in this field. So let's wheat. We'll put wheat in this field. And we're going to send a helper. Normally I do like a headland row once around. I probably should have done that, but I didn't. But maybe I will just go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and do my headland row that I need, because I need to be doing that. So we'll just go ahead, we'll just continue with the headland row. We'll get one row around, and then we will put the helper in it, because I need a little space on these trees back here. I don't really want to take any more of the trees out. We can do that pretty easily. We have the tool to do that with. But I don't like taking out trees if I don't have to take them out. And I already took out all the trees on this side of that little creek right there. Everything on the field side of that little creek, I took out all the trees. just to give us that little bit of room. I actually expanded this field a little bit. It was not quite as big as it is now. I didn't expand it that much. It didn't change things a whole lot, but I extended it down that way just a little bit. So now I'm going to get over here, and I'm just going to let the helper go now because I have that headland road down on the end. It should help out. Hopefully it will. Should give me enough space in between the trees and the edge of the field for the helper to work. Man, I just keep yawning. Now, I think the helper does do a better job with this particular tool than it does that plow. So I may not have to help it as much. We'll see. I took out the trees along this edge right there too. There were some trees right here by this rock formation down on the lower side, and I took them out also. And I have cleaned up some trees around the edges of my other fields, just so the helper has room to get turned around. I think for the most part I have it cleaned up pretty good. There might be a few more trees that need to be worked on. But we'll see. For right now, I think we're probably in pretty good shape. Like I was saying earlier, in the big field that I did, it's got that island in the middle. And it has rock formations. And I kind of cut it a little too close to those rock formations. I got a little too close to those rock formations that it does interfere with the helper. So I have to help the helper in that, around that island. So I think from now on, when I do that field, I'm just going to make a couple of runs around that island myself. A couple of headland rows around it. So that way I know the helper is working far enough away from it that it's not going to be a problem. So, boy, see, I'm running out of things to talk about. As far as the farm is concerned. Now let's see, I've got wheat here. I want to put oats up there. I got to remember to switch the crop type. That's one thing that I really have a bad habit of doing. I forget to change the crop type, and then I start planting the same crop. I'll go right from here up to the other field and forget to change it to oats, and I'll start planting wheat. And then remember, oh my goodness, I'm planting wheat. I meant to plant oats. I will be glad when it warms up some here where I live. It is beginning to. Today and tomorrow, I think it's actually tomorrow. I think we're calling for more snow. I don't really want any more snow. I pretty much had enough snow for this year already. But I think we're going to get more snow. It's forecast for tomorrow. But it gets cold here. And the house I live in is a 100-year-old house, and there's no insulation in it. And it's not like I can just easily add insulation, because you have to frame out you'd have to frame out all the exterior walls in the house to add insulation, and that means redoing the electrical and stuff. And it's an old hollow tile type structure, so it's not easy to accomplish things as far as remodeling is concerned, and it's very expensive, especially in today's age with inflation and all that stuff. Building materials are really expensive, so can't really afford to start framing out walls, tearing plaster off of walls and framing them, because it's hollow tile, but it also has a plaster and then paneling. And I don't think the paneling was not original. At some point, somebody has added the paneling on top of the plaster. I mean, it looks nice. I like the wood paneling, but I don't like the fact that it's not insulated, because it's very, very hard to heat. And originally it had 2 fireplaces. That was to heat coal. It's actually in what once was a mining camp. So it was it was owned by a coal mining company, and they built these houses for their employees to live in. They were originally built as duplexes, so there were actually 2 families living in one structure. But most of them in this old coal camp are now single-family homes. They've been purchased. The coal mining company has sold them off, because they don't do any more mining up here. It's all mined out. And most of them were bought by single-family people and then converted to single-family homes, which mine is a single-family home at this point. But the fireplace has had a fireplace insert put in it, and it runs on propane. And propane is expensive. Electric heat is expensive. So we end up having like, our electric bill would be like $800, $1,000. It's absolutely crazy. But there's no way, no cheap way to heat this house. So I would like to frame out the exterior walls, put some insulation in. That would be nice if I could do that. It won't be too much longer. We'll have this field done. And then I may go sleep through one day. Just to see if we can't do a third field. I might have time to do one more field. Well, we've got the field at the top too, so I forgot about that. We still got to go up there and plant that one. So that probably will be all I have time to do. Looks like this will be the last pass on this field. Oh, is it going to catch it? Nope. I'm going to have to come back down. Going to have to come back down and catch that last little bit right there. So I'm just going to do that on my own. So that way I don't have to wait for the helper to get turned around. But one thing I am going to do is I'm going to drag it all the way to the edge of the field so I don't have these tire tracks in the field. This will take the tire tracks out. There we go, that's better. Now, let's see. See, I almost did it again. I almost pulled out there without switching this to oats. I almost pulled out there and started planting. Even though I had it in my head, gotta remember to do this, I almost forgot to do it. Now, I think what I'm going to do this time is when I get to that upper corner, right where we come up to the asphalt, I will just go ahead and send the helper. I'm not going to do the headland row all the way around it. I may have to help the helper out in a spot or two. I hope not. I mean, it's kind of sad you have to help the helper. But if I have to, I have to. We're going to get up here, right here, and I'm going to let the helper go right here because my hands are hurting. So I just want to let this guy go right here like this. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be the last process I do today. I'm going to be out of time by the time I get this field finished. But it'll still have been a decent little live stream. It'll be a couple hours. Probably more than 2 hours. I'm not sure because, like I said, the counter has quit working. Still says 56 minutes. Says started streaming 56 minutes ago, and it's been saying that for quite a while now. So I don't know what happened to it, but something happened to it. The counter, that is. But it is what it is. Hopefully next time that thing will work properly so I can kind of keep an eye on how long. Although I will tell you, it was going up to 119 minutes, and then it would say started streaming 2 hours ago. When it hit 120 minutes, it would pop over and say 2 hours. And then it would say 2 hours until it was 3 hours. So I wish it would say hours and minutes, so I knew I had been live streaming for 2 hours and 21 minutes. But that's not what it would do. It just hopped over. Once it hit the 2 hour mark, it would say 2 hours, and then it would go to 3 hours, 4 hours. So I do wish it had the hours and the minutes. But basically I just live stream until I get to a good spot to stop. Like I said, today I have some other things I have to do, and I want to get back on here tonight and do another live stream, and it will be longer because I'm really wanting to harvest that other field. So I'm going to have some other things to do. In fact, tonight's live stream may turn out to be one of the longest ones I've done. We'll just have to see how that works out. It depends on whether I'm babysitting again or not. I really can't stay up all night and then be able to like live stream in the morning like this. If I stay up all night live streaming, I won't be able to live stream tomorrow morning. And like I said, I don't sleep well when I'm babysitting overnight. I'm babysitting my grandchildren. Now, let's see. This guy, I'm going to have to back this guy up. He's going to need some help. I can tell that already. Or I think I can tell it. I don't think it's going to start in the correct spot. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it will. It did. That surprised me. I'm glad it did, but it surprised me. It didn't look like it was going to. Let me see here. I actually have a message from my daughter. Maybe she's actually going to be, she won't. Okay, I need to send my daughter a message. Well, I'm going to have to cancel one of the things I was going to do today, which is not good. Sorry guys, I gotta send my daughter a message here right quick. Okay, at least see the helper does a lot better job using the seeder than it does with the plow. It doesn't mess up as much. And I don't know why that is. It's aggravating. It is aggravating. Yeah, my daughter went to spend the night at one of her friend's house a couple days ago, and the kids were at their dad's house. They weren't here, so she went over there, and then they wouldn't bring her back home, and she's stranded about 30 miles away, and her friends are refusing to bring her back home after they promised her they'd bring her home. So she's trying to figure out how she can get another ride. She called her uncle, but he can't come get her until later this afternoon, so that messes up my scheduling and my plans. Because I have to be here when the bus runs. But there isn't anything I can do about it. I'm just going to have to call this place later and cancel my plans. I'll do that after I finish this live stream. Okay. So we'll let this guy run, finish out. We've got a little bit of time to go. It'll take a little while to finish this off. So here we are, running along. So I hit these places where I don't know what to say. Of course, I got my daughter texting me here too on my cell phone, so it gets my mind kind of distracted on what I'm doing. Well, we're more than halfway done with this field, because each little pass now is getting shorter and shorter. Yeah, not sure how much longer it'll take to finish this. Probably not too much longer. Another 20 minutes maybe. I'm so anxious to be able to harvest this field for the first time, just because I want to see how much we get, even though the first time is not really going to give me an accurate idea. It's going to be less than what we will normally get, because I already showed you like how the fertilization works when you first create a new field. You're not going to get maximum yield, or at least we're not going to get up to that 95% mark. So even that, but it'll give me, I will know after I do it the first time that in the future it will be even more. And I'm personally wondering if we can hit $500,000 off that field. That is what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping it will be a $500,000 field. Because our goal on this map is not money. I mean, we need money, so we got to make money to buy the stuff we need to buy to do what we want to do. But our goal is not to have like $100 million. We don't need that much money. We need to make enough money to buy the equipment that we want, but the idea is to fill the silos. That's the main objective. That's our main goal. So we will, once I have the tractor trailer, once I have the stuff I need for doing sunflowers and corn and potatoes, once I have all the equipment that we need and stuff like that, then we'll start putting soybeans in our silos. And we'll use that to help start filling up the silos. But anytime we need it, then if I have that trailer that holds 250,000 liters, then anytime I need money, I can just go get the 250,000 liters, providing we get it off this field over here. Eventually we'll have excess and excess of soybeans in the silo, to where we can go grab a full trailer load, you know, $500,000 at one time, and go sell it and buy whatever equipment we need. And that's how we'll operate. So we need money for a little bit yet. We've got some stuff we still have to buy. I do want to put a shed up top. I could put a shed over there too. That's something to think about. I might could put a shed by the silo extension and see how that works out. I don't know that I want to do that, but we'll need to put sheds in some other places at some point, because we're going to be so far away from the home farm that we have to drive all the way from one place to another with all our different equipment to be able to turn the field over. But we may end up doing that. We may just keep all of our equipment over in this area and drive it all over to another part of the map when we need to. We'll just have to see how that works out. Will we farm the entire map? I don't know. That really is not one of our goals, but we may try to do that. We may see if we can do that. I probably would have to go from 1 day months to 2 day months, maybe 3 day months. Just so I have the in-game time to be able to do everything. But we'll see about all that. We're not really at a place where we need to make that kind of decision yet. I do need to buy some more land, so yeah, we need more money. We need quite a bit more money to get to where it's not an issue anymore. I mean, we are already a profit-making farm, but we will really become a successful farm. I mean, we can be a profit-making and we can be successful, but, you know, generally when you think about a successful person, it means they have excess. You know, they have more than what they need. We're operating within what we need right now, but we are not at a place yet where we are living in excess, that we've been able to produce more than what we need, and that's where we want to get to. But that is not the main objective. That will happen through natural progression. As we continue, we will get to that point. And we are almost finished. So we are almost finished with this live stream. I am going to have to go take care of some other things. I will tell you guys, I do like making these live streams. Much better than just making plain videos. And of course, I've already explained like the time duration that PlayStation allows for making videos, recording videos and stuff like that. So the live stream is much, much better. And by going through the PlayStation, oh, did I just knock over the other sign? Oh my gosh. I think we just knocked over the other sign. It doesn't surprise me. Yeah, we got them both laying on the ground now. Both from a helper running into them. And that's why I wish the street signs were connected to traffic. If you turn the traffic off, it should just automatically get rid of street signs, because you don't need them. There's no traffic. Unfortunately, that's not what we have. So street signs get knocked over, even by the helper. It knocked both of them over. And most of the time it doesn't do that. Most of the time it will stop. They're in the way. They get in the way. Once he knocked it over, it should have just kept going. And I really hope, guys, on the next live stream I do, which will be later tonight, that this counter works properly. It's the first time it hasn't worked properly, as far as I remember. Well, it hasn't got stuck like that before, I know, because I watch it. And why it's stuck now, I don't know. It just, so, you know, I hope next time it works. Oh, before I do end this live stream, though, I did say that we were going to go put water in our greenhouses and give our chickens some chicken feed. So we will take care of that. We'll go do that before I end the live stream. Let's see, I already have my other tractor hooked up to the trailer. We will need that for the chicken feed. And I can get wheat or barley. Maybe I'll give them some barley. I can't remember what I gave them last time. Sorghum, I think. I gave them sorghum. I think I gave them sorghum. Doesn't really matter. It's all the same. Those three crops, they'll eat either of those three. But it's nice to switch up once in a while. Kind of give them a combination. Not that the game actually understands it. It doesn't look at it any differently. But I like to do that just so I know I'm giving them a variety. They're getting some different kinds of things. We might at some point want to sell some chickens. I don't know how that works. I've never played far enough into the game to see how it works. Like once you have as many chickens in your chicken pen that you can hold, which ours is 360, and we have that. We have 360. I did not start out with 360. I started out with like 100 chickens and 4 roosters. And it did not take all that long to get 360. But most of the 360, I think, are not egg laying yet. So we're not making a whole lot of money as far as eggs are concerned. I think at some point we might, but we may need to sell some chickens first. I don't know. I'll have to try to figure that out. So, all right, we've got some oats in the ground. We've got some wheat in the ground. We've got canola. And we've got soybeans. We'll fold this up and we will go get our trailer. Our water truck is already full. Which is a good thing. And it has enough water in it to fill up all our greenhouses, get them all topped off. So we can just leave this sit here and we'll go over hopping this one. We'll go get some barley. I think I'll feed the chickens barley this time, so we can go get some barley. We want barley. We don't need a lot. That's more than enough. And we'll bring the rest of it back and dump it back in there. Whoops. I try not to do that kind of stuff. I forgot where I was going, actually. I was thinking about that water truck. So I ended up going to the wrong place. So that was my bad. There we go, we're finished. Let's do this while we're here. We'll take that back after we do the water. Try not to run. I did. I was just going to say, try not to run over our water pipe. And then I hit our water pipe anyway. Now that did not act like it filled it up. I don't know why. I may have to come back to it. Now we'll come over on this side. I should have these closer together. See, it's acting like that's full already. But I don't think it should be full already. So we're just going to have to see. Something that acts weird. I don't know why I'm not actually. So what I need to do, I'm just going to have to do this. The only way I can figure it out. Yeah, that one's full. That one's full. It fills these up without me actually stopping at them. See, it's full. I didn't go to all 6 water tanks, but I've got all 6 water tanks full. So, I mean, that's okay that it does that. But it's weird. Now what would be nice is if I actually could park like this. If I could do something like this. Like if I could park like this and fill at the same time. Because now I'm filling the truck. So if I could actually do both at the same time, that would be awesome. So I tried to do that once before with something. I couldn't get it to work that way. I always like to make sure there we go, like that. Now you can hear it. You can hear it still running. I like the way that lights up when you get out of the truck. Oh, it didn't stay lit that time. Stay lit. That looks cool. I like that. But it's filling up. You can hear it. It's filling. Now we're going to take our seed back over, put it back in the silo, and then that will wrap it up for this one. Get that dumped in there. So everything's taken care of that needs to be taken care of. We got it all done. Bam! Big old bump right there. Actually, it looked like a dip. Like maybe it was a dip. So we'll just bring this up here and park it. Now, we want to save it. And that's going to wrap it up for this one, guys. We've got everything done we could do. So I will catch you in the next one. Until then, God bless.